If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Well, welcome back, everybody. We've got a bone nut that I had laying around the shop here that we're going to go with. Yeah, that brass nut did not work. Yeah, for a couple of different reasons. And the main reason it did not work is that it wasn't, the depth was not good. And the only way we could have used that, if I had been willing to actually follow a bit of the fingerboard, and I was not interested in doing that. Not that I'm against it. But I just didn't want to do that. Well, I'm going to string it up to see if this nut will work. If not, we may need a taller nut. And if so, I have a red one standing by. I don't know how that would look. I think, if it were my guitar, I'd put it on there because I think it looks cool. But anyway, we'll see about that. All right, let me string this bad boy up. Okay, a couple of things just to note here. The astute viewer will note that I wound these strings a couple of times. I did not just pull them through, even though these are locking tuners, and lock the mechanisms and cut the strings, because if past experience is prologue, what I know is that I'm more than likely going to have to loosen these strings, move them off the nut. I may need to replace the nut if that's too low. There's a lot of setup work that needs to be done, so until the guitar is completely set up, I will not just pull it through taut, lock it, and cut this string. I would do that eventually. And the other thing that you may notice is that we do not yet have our string guides installed, and the reason that I opt to do that last is because I like to do that when the strings are on the guitar, so that I have my lineage, uppage. Those are technical terms. Yeah, those are technical terms. But yeah, I will be installing these string guides. I'm going to cut the nips off, and I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one down here somewhere. Okay, all right, let me get some tools of destruction and we'll do that. If you hang on the channel, what you know is what I'm about to do, but for those of you who don't, and hey, if it's your first time, welcome. These rolling string trees, string guides, have string retainers, have these little nibs on them. You can drill a secondary hole where those align. I just cut them off using my snips, and I have safety goggles on, and I'm going to cup my hand over this as I do it so that that nib does not become a projectile that I need to deal with. Okay, and then I will take my file and I will just file that rough edge off. So again, I'm just taking my nib, getting it as close as I can to that, cupping my hand. There we go. And it's just that easy. But you can tell, man, if those things become airborne with any velocity and you don't have safety goggles on, that could be a bad day for you, my friend. So, word to the wise, safety glasses. Free tips at TED Talks Guitars and Life. Free tips. Okay, so I'm just going to take my file and file that rough edge down. Okay. Man, how's your day going, man? What are you guys doing today? You got me on in the background. You working on a guitar, man? What's up? How's life, man? How y'all doing, man? Man, I pray that you're having a great day. I pray that you are surrounded by people who love and affirm you, man. People who champion you. Yeah, man. Life is too short, my friends, not to have good community all around you. Life is too short. I'm so glad that you are on my journey with me, man. This little journey we call TED Talks Guitars and Life, you guys are the channel, man. I'm so appreciative of you hanging out with me on the regular. Alright, now we've got our things filed down. I need to get my drill in place, standing by. By the way, if you're playing the home game and you're wondering how I know where to put these, generally speaking, on a Telecaster shaped object, you would want to put one string guide about halfway between the first and second tuner and the other one halfway between the second and third tuner, somewhere in there. I don't know that technically, according to any kind of specs, that there's a technical advantage to being further or closer away, but I kind of eyeball things this way, and that's where I'm gonna put them anyway. You do you, man. That's what I say. Nothing I do is prescriptive, man. Everything I do is just descriptive of my brand of crazy with guitars adventures, man. Alright, now I'm gonna get the drill and really do this. Now, for those of you who may be asking about the placing of the hole, if I want the hole, if I want this, my pilot hole to align with that hole, and I want this part about halfway through, the hole shouldn't be halfway. The hole should be further back a little bit. So the way I do it is that I'll take a ruler like this, and I will get halfway on the first tuner, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, right center of that first tuner as far as I can get it, and then I will let the line, that's where I want my hole. So then I will hold the ruler and I will kind of line it up with the strings a little bit. It may look crooked to the natural eye, but I'm more interested in following the strings spacing. Well, because we tell the truth and shame the devil around here at Ted Talks Guitars and Life, I would have to confess, my friends, that I drilled that hole in the wrong place. So I'm about to drill another one. Yeah. I put it, was supposed to be over here, not over there. So we will be filling that hole with something down the road, Jack. Yeah. Guys, I don't edit out mistakes, man. I could. I could have just dealt with all that and didn't tell you, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got in a hurry. I don't know if what exactly, but something. So, about that. Okay, so my hope is I'm going to be able to take some of this sawdust that came out of that hole and I'm going to fill this other hole with it. Yeah, the hole I drilled in the wrong place. Yeah, that hole. Yep, that hole. Alright, well, this looks like a little bit of a knot in the wood or something like that, maybe. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Sorry, Ken. I don't think anybody's ever going to notice that, bro, but if they do, if you do, I'm really apologetic, my friend. Okay, now, where were we? We were putting a string tree where it was supposed to be. Yeah, it's funny. No, it's not funny. It's kind of funny. It's not funny, funny, huh? Just all right. I had a screw right in here somewhere. What did that happen to it? I don't know. Okay, the guitar's in tune. The neck is level, meaning there's no relief in it, or the appropriate relief is there. String action is still super high. Adjusting these saddles, if I come down on those, you can already tell they're kind of sort of where they should be, but I'm going to bring them down some, see if I can lower this action. If I can't, if we lower the saddles to the deck, which is not great, by the way, and our action is still high, we're going to have to put a shim in the heel of this neck right here. I was going to do that initially, and I thought, well, let's just string it up and see what happens. But, yep. Well, that's where we're going to go in the next vid. Okay. See ya. Well, all right, my friends. As shims go, there's two schools of thought. You can buy a product like this, Musepar type thing. It has a thicker top and it tapers down to very thin. Or you could do a little piece of a business card, or maybe an old credit card if you've got one. Given the height of those strings, I'm going to start with this. That is pretty severe, and I may end up regretting that decision, and then I may have to do this a couple of times. So I have loosened the strings. I've put a capo on about the 12th fret or so, and I'm going to take these screws out. I'm going to insert my shim, put it back together, and take a look. What could go wrong? Don't say that. Yeah, let's quit saying what could go wrong. Okay, everybody, we've got our shim in the neck. A couple things. One, I've got a piece of that board sticking out over here, which I can remedy. The saddles are looking pretty normal. They're almost horizontal. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if I can. However, I tuned everything up. But open. Which leads me to believe, my friends, that my nut is too low. So I think we're going to have to put a higher nut in here. I could shim it. I could go red. I haven't talked to Ken about whether or not I can go red. However, I am thinking maybe we should put a red nut on here. We'll call it a signature model. Ha ha! Yeah, man, what do you guys think about that? clearly, I just couldn't wait to play this thing. Yeah, I was sitting over there working on it. I had Oob on in the background. He does live streams. I watch him, after the fact. But anyway, I said, man, I was working on this, and I thought, man, I can't wait to play this thing. So what you just heard was the first playthrough of the pickups and all the things that we've done to date on the project. One of the things that picked up while I was playing it, there's a couple things left to do. This will be in the next vid, we'll come back. So one is I went with the red bone nut because it was the only bone nut that I had that was high enough to get the strings off the fingerboard. However, they still need to be, I need to file the top of it and file that down some. When I fret the third string, that has still got a lot of play in it. So I need to be rectifying that. And then I'll drop one small bit of glue in there. I do have the string trees located on the guitar. And yeah, I think it plays pretty well. It went out of tune because I adjusted a string guide up there. I don't have it set up for the locking tuners quite yet. I wound those. In case I need to take the strings off, I will be able to do that. And then I need to file the edges of this nut a little bit as well. Put the shim in, and I've got kind of got the action where I like it. And I was told to set the guitar up the way I would like it, so that's what I've done all the way around. I did notice when I was playing through the guitar that I do have some kind of hum. And so I need to take this apart again, and I need to look at all my connections and make sure that all my connections are good. And after doing that, if I've still got a hum, I think what I'm going to need to do is shield the cavities of this guitar. So the humbucker, the mini humbucker, was kind of weird. It had two grounds on it. And anyway, guys, I've never installed a humbucker before. If you saw the installation of the pickup vid, you already know that. You saw me wrestle with that, and I wired it up wrong the first time. So yeah, we've got some dialing in to do, but we are getting there. Closer and closer to having a completed project on our hands. So I will, like I said, come back in the next vid and address those things that I've mentioned, man. Hey, man, this has been quite the journey wherever you are in your guitar journey, man. I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.